So what do you think about Donald Trump being the president-elect of these yet-to-be United States?
I think it's a damn shame that the people in this country would allow the Don to be elected as president because they don't know the Don.
Like you know the Don. You know the Don.
I know the Don's type.
That's right. And tell us what that type is.
I know his type. And his type is, I'm going to do for me and my family. You understand?
I do. Chris, as you know, I founded an organization called ZAMI NOBLA, National Organization of Black Lesbians on Aging, based here in Atlanta. Could you talk to us at 92 years of age about why you think it's important for black lesbians over 40 to support the organization?
Well, I think it's quite important for our lesbians, black lesbians over 40, because that's a good age to start thinking about perhaps becoming over 50, and then over 60, and then over 70, and if you're fortunate enough, over 80, and then over 90. And so you have a goodly number of years to prepare for your later retirement, because most of us are still working until about, well, I would say around 60 or so. And there's not too much time to start saving money up or thinking, or even thinking too much about the old age. So it's a good idea to get that early start.
A lot of people are really impressed that you and your partner have been able to stay together for almost 50 years, or perhaps over 50 years. Can you talk a little bit about what your secrets are? Give us some tips for maintaining a long relationship. I'm sorry.
Well, I believe we were over 40 when we started. And
41 and 42.
And and we had experienced a goodly part of life, and with family, children, and our jobs, and we felt that this was a good time to plan a life together. And incidentally, we did fall in love. And it was an easy way for the two of us because the children were behind us, and we were both well educated, and we both had good jobs. Now, as far as staying together as long as we've stayed in the relationship, you know, it's difficult if you don't have some similarities. In similarities, I mean, you're able to understand life in general because you have had a goodly amount of experiences. Now, to remain in the relationship for as long as we have, I think that it took a goodly amount of compassion, consideration for each other, understanding each other, knowing and caring about each other to the extent that although we might have differences, at times we were always able to come together, and we never ever went to bed in an unsettled way. If we'd had a rather loud discussion during the day, we settled it before retiring for bed. caring about each other. And of course, the fact that we were capable of not having to worry too much about the money, the financial part of living together, because we were already settled in our profession at the time we got together. And so we were very able to grow old together, become seniors, retire, and we were able to support ourselves without having to borrow money or anything of that sort. And we just and we still love each other. What you say to that, Althea?
I agree with everything you said so far.
So I know that you all are still maintaining and living in your own home with the support of family and friends. Could you talk a little bit about that, how important that is to you and how it keeps you from being so isolated? Like a lot of elders that we know are very isolated. Could you talk a little bit about the support of family and friends and being able to continue to live in your own home, unlike so many others?
Well, the main thing I think is that we knew at the time that we got together that we probably, unless something drastic occurred in the employment field, we knew that we would be able to carry on into further old age. We were very fortunate. I adopted Althea's family, and she adopted my family. And we've never ever had a problem where that's concerned. No family opposition to our being together. And as far as being independent, well, we both have pensions, and we don't have to borrow money. We're not needy. And we looked out for that when we first got together. As a matter of fact, I started planning for that for myself personally when I was in my early 30s. But had we not started thinking about getting old one day, you see, we wouldn't be in the position that we are in, because fortunately we don't have to ask anybody for anything. We're not needy people.
You're